Hey, what's up guys? Alan here. So I was thinking, I've been thinking about the different videos I want to do, and something I wanted to talk about today is how I shot my video, because I had some questions about how I captured the footage that I did, and about what camera I used and all of that. So I just wanted to go ahead and address some of those questions. So as you can see, I'm out walking right now with other people and so when I actually film things and you're seeing stuff like this, I used a GoPro Session, it's a Hero 4 Session, and normally I would keep it, I had it on a carabiner and I would have it clipped right here, and then I would take it out and have it in my hand. So when you're seeing something like this, it really looks more like this. So you see the camera pointing at me, I just hold it out like this a lot of times, usually about arm's length, which was a little tiring at first, so I got shorter shots, but as I kept doing it, it got a little bit easier to do. So this is my GoPro. It's a nice little small guy that has one button on the top here and one button on the back. It's real simple. This camera itself is only about $200, and it's super lightweight, super small, and comes in this little carrying case, which is slightly protective and was extremely valuable. I dropped this a number of times, including this morning in the kitchen at my dad's house, and it is really none the worse for wear. There's like one little scratch on the back right here, I don't know if you can see that, and then there's like a little bit right here on the lens, which you probably can't see at all, but I promise you it's there. And that's all that happened for the whole trail. With this, I was able to shoot 1080p 60 consistently. It has several settings. You can drop it down if you want to have, if you need to capture like more video, so maybe you just want to drop it down to 720, and that'll extend the life of your chip. But I never wanted to do that. I had the luxury of not having to do that, and I was able to maintain 1080p 60 the whole time. The way I was able to do that is by using the SIM chips. We had micro SD cards. This one is a Samsung. It's a 64 gig. This would hold probably about like over 5 hours of footage. This morning when I checked it, I believe I had like 5 hours and 20 minutes. You can see it just slides right in here and beep. That easy, and you're loaded to go. I had one 64 gig, and then I had 7, I believe, of the 32 gigs, which held about 2.5 hours of footage. And once I filled a chip, which the 5-hour chip I pretty much never filled, but the 2.5-hour ones I would fill. And when I did, then I would just take it out of here, and I had some little plastic protective cases that these came in when we bought them, and I would ship them home, just USPS, to my dad, and he would take the footage off of that and go ahead, edit the video, and put up what you got to see on the YouTubes. So this is how I did this. There were a number of other ways that I saw people filming. A lot of people had the stick pick, which just goes like right on the end of a trekking pole, and then you can like hold your camera out and get like big shots coming down, or you can hold it out and swing around and always have your face in the pan shots. And I personally found that wasn't necessary. I felt like whenever I was filming with this, it was a lot easier to have it clipped right here. So when I wanted to do the walking shots of the trail, or if I saw some wildlife that I was trying to capture, then it was a lot easier to, like, when it's hanging here, just grab it and dee-dee-dee. And now I'll get the footage of it, and as I'm walking, you know, like I can hold it like this, and then when I'm done, I can just press the button and it's done. I don't need to I didn't have to take the time to like screw it on and then I have to hold it out and make sure I get all the right shots. I didn't have to do that. The thing that I found really easy about this as well was in aiming my shots. Since I had it in my hand, it made it a lot easier for me to plan, like, okay, I'm pointing directly at this, or I'm pointing directly at that, or I'm pointing directly at myself. And when I would do pan shots, it made it real easy to walk around like this, or just to hold it out and do pans like that. The most difficult part of it was learning how to get the steady hand, but once you do it a couple of times, especially if you practice, it becomes a lot easier just to kind of like turn your body and get the pan shot like that. So those are reasons I enjoyed that. As far as other cameras that people used, there were a number. Probably the most popular that I saw was an iPhone. A lot of people use their iPhone. They like that, particularly the iPhone 6 or the 6S, which gets phenomenal footage. If you go to Craig M's YouTube and watch his videos, he did it all on a 6S, and his shots are absolutely amazing. They're beautiful and well planned. I highly suggest checking it out if you want to see what the full capabilities are of that phone. So probably the next thing that we'll talk about that would be important for you is how we edited everything. So we're going to head back to the house, and when we get there, I'll go on ahead and take you through the process of how we put that together. I'll see you there. Alright, so here we are. This is the Bat Cave, Ninja HQ, and we are here. This is the setup where all the magic happened behind the scenes. Whenever I would actually send the video home, this is where it would be edited. And so what we have here is PowerDirector 10 is the program that my dad used for all of the editing, and I'll kind of give you a closer up look at what's going on. Not all the specifics, but we'll get a good overview. So hopefully you'll have a better idea of how this all came together into the final product that you got to see at home. Alright, so this is PowerDirector 10, and the first place that we'll talk about is over here. This is where all of the snapshots, so each one of these is a picture, or down here I have my GoPro files. So these were the separate clips that would be taken. So as you can see here, this is a shot of walking up the hunt trail on my summit day. And then there would be some photos that were taken, and these came from different areas. So like this shot here, this is something that was a snapshot straight off of the actual video. So we would find a spot and be like, oh, this is a really nice picture of me. I like this. I might want to use this. And we would just click this little button, create a snapshot, name it something. We'll call it Alan Look. And then that would be saved, and it would be over here for use. And what we did with these is we used these for the opening cards down here. So the basic layout of the video would be the intro sequence, and then we would have, so this would be comprised of a starting card. I'll show you over here. So it'd be like a starting card, and then a number of different photos with some effects added in. And these would be photos taken straight from the video clips that you were going to see. and we would take down here the Wesley's music. So this is Legend of the 1205, which I play it there, and you can hear old Wesley tearing it up back there, and we would go ahead and have that set up for our intro, and it would fade in, and this is where we would start adding the clips. So I'll shrink this down so you get a better entire view. So here we would take the separate clips and we would go ahead and import these in, and in general we would try to find either a good stopping point or a certain amount of time that would be appropriate and fill that up. So here we have all of these clips going down to here, and then we would create our outro. And so here, just like in the beginning, we have cards that we would click on, or we would show you. Well, these aren't showing up here, but it was what you saw at the end, and we would have these set up to show for a certain amount of time so that you could read me thanking you for your support and asking you to follow me on YouTube. Now, this video has a couple of extra things. So if you watched my summit video, you saw where here, as I summited, we brought in a picture-in-picture of some video that Crash took of me. And that's this clip down here, which was just added in a picture-in-picture format. I'm going to go ahead and stop that because that wind is so loud. And so, you know, you have, this gives you the opportunity to go on ahead and merge in some other photos, or in this case a video that you might want to add in for some extra flavor. And here it was Crash's picture, Crash's shot of me making it to the summit sign, since in my teary mess I decided to put the camera behind the sign, and that, so this is under, like, here's the Katahdin sign over here. And then once all of that is put together, you have your intro and all your video, and then, you know, your video clips, which you could cut these however you want, cut them down to kind of piece them together how you want. Our decision on this was just to focus more on the reality of what was happening and trying to be kind of completionist with how much was captured of the journey. You know, we wanted, like, I always had a vision of making sure that everybody kind of saw exactly how things were going for me, as opposed to trying to just cherry pick only the most beautiful things. I kind of wanted everybody to get a feel for how long the journey is, and for what it really entails. And so we just put the clips in on my videos pretty much straight up the way they were. Down here, these are your sound clips, and we would actually modify these. Like, if you can kind of see this little line through here, that actually is your sound level. And so whenever the wind would be worse, we would actually drop it down so that we didn't kill your ears. But that's the basic idea of how this is put together. The only last thing would be we would actually go to produce it, and so from here we would do our go to the online and pick our quality that we wanted. You know, we did everything in 1080p, so we'd pick our 1920 by 1080 full HD quality. Fill in our information, you know, with the title, the description, and have it set for YouTube, which it doesn't want to do right now, but normally we could do. I think we have the Wi-Fi turned off right now on the computer. And put our tags in and everything, and then it would render from here and upload straight to YouTube. And if I wanted to change any other information, I could change it on YouTube. But this was the basic way that everything came together. One other thing that I'll mention real quick before I send you home is on for our video clips, we would actually take these, and right here are some of the video clips for this video that we're going to do. Rather than trying to take them straight off of the SD card into the program, we would download them onto the computer so that it sped up the process of working with it. For anyone that doesn't have a whole lot of experience in video editing, video rendering takes a whole lot of power and memory, and so if the computer is actually having to read off of a chip while it's trying to actually process everything in the program, then that's going to significantly extend the amount of time that it takes to process that information. And so something might go from being like normally being a 3-hour render. If you try to do it off of the card, it might take twice as long, and 6 hours is a long time to be trying to produce anything. Alright, so now I have given you an overview of PowerDirector. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any further questions about how any of this happened, my camera, maybe I don't know, like questions with the program, if I don't have the answers, I can ask my dad about how he did it, and we can try and get back to you on how to do any of this. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.